Call this meeting to order. We are here on the school committee on Tuesday, May 14th at 7:30. I would like to remind everyone that we are being taped live and rebroadcasted by WMCT TV. So I call this meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if everyone could rise. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We'll start off with presentations tonight. So we have Technium Marlboro High School Work-Based Learning Program update. So, are they here today?
I didn't hear that they weren't coming, so
Okay.
I'm a little surprised right now, but
Okay.
yeah, let me make a phone call and see what the situation is.
Okay, we can skip down to the next one. There's another presentation. The Marlboro High School Student Advisory Committee.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Cronus, and I am one of the freshman representatives here on SAC. Tonight, I wanted to give you an update about the ongoing work to improve freshman orientation at MHS. My first presentation back in October was on freshman orientation and how it could be improved for future freshman classes. One thing I brought up was the Link Crew program, and tonight I want to go into a deeper explanation on what Link Crew really is. Just a little refresher on what Link Crew is for those who may not know.
Thank you.
Link Crew is a program used by many high schools throughout the country, and it is meant to make the transition from middle to high school easier for freshmen. Link Crew is made up of juniors and seniors who are link leaders for specific groups of freshmen. The number of link leaders depends on the size of the freshman classes and how many freshman Panthers there are. Ideally, there would be 2 link leaders for every freshman Panther, and the link leaders will meet with their freshmen once a month through February. Mr. Verdone and Ms. Casey are the advisors for the Link Crew program, and after talking to them, I got to gather a little bit information about what the application process really looks like. The Link Crew application deadline was 2 weeks ago, and they ended up with 40 applicants. In order to apply for Link Crew, you have to be nominated by a teacher, someone who can verify that you would be a good influence, peer mentor, and student leader for underclassmen. From there, they can choose to apply after an informational meeting with Mr. Verdone and Ms. Casey, and they will either be accepted or not accepted. Another great aspect of Link Crew is the fact that link leaders aren't just what you would consider the best students. And it's a mix of students from all different backgrounds. For example, a teacher may have nominated a student who maybe messed around their freshman year and didn't take it seriously, who then experienced a lot of personal growth. Now that student can tell their freshmen what they wish they did differently and not to make the same mistakes. Some statistics I found from a Link Crew information video was that more students fail 9th grade than any other grade, and that was from the National High School Center. And promotion rates from 9th to 10th grade are significantly lower than rates between all other grades from Wheelock and Mayo Clinic. But at North High School in Minnesota, they saw a 46% decrease in freshman failures after implementing Link Crew, and a 73% reduction in freshman tardies at Gilroy High School in California. These are 2 major issues at MHS, and personally, I'm excited to see what this program can bring to MHS, and I feel like it may be a turning point in how students view their freshman year. Thank you for your time, and have a good rest of your evening. Any questions?
Yes.
Taylor, thank you. Have students been notified yet who is going to be one of the Link Crew members, or is that still pending?
I think it's still pending. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that they should be finding out soon.
And then there's going to be a training for them, right?
Yeah. So they'll learn about it, and I'm pretty sure also like staff members who like work with freshmen, like the teachers, they also go through a training as well. So
Great. Well, we can't wait to hear more about it after it's rolled out.
another question?
Yes.
Do you, when did this start? Do you know? Like, how long have we been using this?
They had been talking about like finding ways to improve freshman orientation for a while, but back in October, when I decided I wanted to do my first presentation on freshman orientation, I got to meet with a bunch of teachers and staff members who work with freshmen, and from there they kind of really started pushing the Link Crew agenda.
So this will be the first time we're using
Yes.
it? We haven't done it yet?
No.
So you didn't have the experience of having the Link Crew? I get it. So you pushed to get this going?
Yeah, I thought it was really important because my freshman orientation, it was more just a tour and a schedule and this is how your first day is going to go, and I kind of wanted more of an in-depth explanation of because they came to the middle school and talked to us, but I now that I was actually there, I wanted a more in-depth explanation.
And sometimes it takes a week or two to come up with questions.
Yeah.
And just to have your person that you can go to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
So I love that you were saying about the variety of students that can be nominated and it can be a part of it. How are they encouraging some students that maybe aren't used to, I heard the nominations, but how are they encouraging getting students that maybe, as you had said, maybe had a rough time starting out? Because sometimes I feel like some of those students don't always think that they could be a really good example for others. But yet I have to say, exactly like how you were articulating it, it could really help a lot of students understand that they still can turn things around and how to not, hit the pitfalls.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad you asked that question because I was in the office because I do the announcements, and a girl came up to the window and she had her Link Crew application, and she didn't, most of the time they don't know that they're nominated until they're that teacher tells them I nominated you for this. So it kind of gives them the extra push to do it. It's not because they don't really go out seeking it themselves. A teacher has to identify I think this student would be a good fit for this position. And this girl, she came up to the window and she's I don't know what this is, but I'm turning it in. Yeah.
And I mean, I think that that's a great example of how, in working with the teachers, since this is new, making sure that they're also thinking about a little out of the box about some students that can be that peer-to-peer conversation and role model of either experiences that have worked or have not worked, right? And how do you improve upon it? So I think it's great, and anything you can do to push to have more kids get involved, to give more variety, all the better.
And in the video I watched, there was a lot of quotes from staff members who work at these schools, saying one teacher said that the training was one of the most rewarding experiences he got out of his teaching career so far. So
That's great. Thank you. Thanks for reporting about it, but thank you so much for kind of pushing it forward and staying with it. And I think, as Ms. Matthews said, an update along the way would be fantastic.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a regional track meet, which is why Risha is obviously absent. It's also why Atul is not here and Taylor is not here. Then we had an unexpected health emergency, so Catalina is not here. So I am the rest.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Miss Klein. I am the student council advisor, and I will read on their behalf and answer questions as best I can on both Atul and Taylor's. I don't have Catalina's because of the short notice of the emergency. So I will start. I guess we'll go 9th grade first. So, good evening, everyone. As you may know, my name is Taylor Stemson, and I am one of the freshman representatives. Tonight, I will be talking about Marlboro High School's track. This topic has been brought up a few times in the past, but I believe it's something worth bringing up again. MPS has so many gorgeous facilities. From the turf field at Whitcomb to the baseball and softball fields at MHS, our city has done a great job at renovating and improving our facilities. To put it bluntly, the current state of said track is depressing. The once vibrant lines are now incredibly faded. By comparison, consider Assabet's track. You can see the white lines on the blue surface from the street. Our current track has many holes and patchy spots, and that make running on it less than satisfactory. I firmly believe that we should install a new track. On a consistent track surface, runners' times can actually decrease, sometimes even a couple of seconds during the longer events. Our athletes would improve their performance and be more competitive at district and state competitions. Tonight. In addition, our facility already has a field for javelin and discus, a triple and long jump, a high jump and pole vault, and a shot put area. If a new track with 8 lanes was installed, MHS could potentially host league and district events. This would bring more attention to our school and so many more benefits. There are about 30 girls and 26 boys on the MHS track team. Only a few are seniors, and many of the participants were new this year. They all use this track daily for practice and meets. The middle schoolers have their meets there. A new facility would do wonders to get the upcoming high schoolers excited about joining the track team. Shiny new things always draw attention. With all the new team members, we have a chance to really build the track team back up after it suffered from the COVID lockdown. Not only will a new track increase participation, but it will also just make our facility safer, more efficient, and a bonus, aesthetically pleasing. Though this is a heavy task to take on, it would reap countless rewards. If there are any questions or comments, I will take those now. Thank you for your time. I don't know how many I could answer for you, but she's literally running right now. Go ahead.
My only comment would be, in support of that, would be we could also host the Special Olympics probably as if we had actually a large enough facility, because they're going to have requirements just like anyone else about the number of lanes and such, and that's one of our deficits. And we are kind of on the forefront for so much with the Special Olympics. It would be fantastic if we could get it back over here, you know, not just being at Framingham often, and especially reading what was in our packet where we are kind of, you know, making it work for Special Olympic involvement. It'd be awesome if we could look at that. So, thank you.
We are a unified champion school. We should have a unified champion track.
Agreed. Thanks.
All right. Any other questions for Taylor?
I will just say that, as Ms. Hennessy said, it's been a topic of conversation for a while, especially after the Whitcomb facility was built.
Not to code.
Not to take care of that issue.
Right.
With intent at that point, but there has been talk about replacing the high school track for many years, and at some point, we need to do it before it falls apart, Mr. Mayor.
So,
Well, completely,
yeah.
and somebody gets hurt by it.
So, may I just ask, is the money that went into the turf fields came out of that separate account that was from the hotel?
So, no, that's the meals tax, is
Meals tax.
recreation. Yes, there probably is money in that account to cover that.
Not enough for a new track.
You know that for certain?
Yes. Of
You
course
looked
I know.
into it?
I know how much is in the available account, yes.
Well,
Okay.
aren't we getting it replenished on a regular basis?
We will look into it. Thank you.
I know Risha presented on it at some point in her tenure as well, so.
For sure, yes.
Yeah. All right, so now just imagine.
Now
Hi,
you're Atul.
everyone. My name is Atul Modor, and I am the 10th grade representative. Today I would like to talk to you about the EMT program. The MHS Patriot Ambulance EMT program is a hybrid program that allows students to attend traditional classes at Marlborough High School for the first half of the day and then transition to practical EMT training at Patriot Ambulance's facility. This program leads to both high school graduation and EMT certification, and it's completely paid for by Marlborough Public Schools. Students engage in rigorous academic and hands-on training from the start of the school year until February or March. Then they begin their EMS internships. These internships include rotations with local dispatch centers, fire and police departments, and direct clinical experience at Marlborough Hospital, exposing them to a wide spectrum of emergency service operations. To apply and get into this program, students are expected to have qualities such as integrity, accountability, and self-motivation, which are key in the high-stakes fields of emergency medical services. The application process begins with an information session that provides detailed insights into the program, followed by a student entry on their interest, as well as 2 pieces of recommendation, one from school and one work-based. After talking to a couple of seniors that have been through the program, feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. They describe the program as challenging yet rewarding, with structured experiences like CPR training on dummies, providing both fun and insightful glimpses into their future careers. They also shared many unique experiences, and one of them even mentioned how they got to arrest somebody. Many of them appreciated the program's inclusivity, stating it caters to a wide range of academic abilities and requires a strong commitment to manage both school and training schedules. In conclusion, the MHS Patriot Ambulance EMT program is not just a pathway, but a unique experience that equips students with life-saving skills while still in high school. It has a rigorous academic and practical environment preparing students for critical roles within healthcare and emergency services. Comments, questions?
Thank you.
Mr. Riley might be able to answer this question better than, not that you don't know the answer, but I don't remember what the first cohort or number of kids has been, the number of kids that have been enrolled in this.
Yeah,
Can you tell
it's,
me?
so it's started out with about 5 or 6 kids, and it's grown. This year we had 11, and with the interest, this year alone, we had 20 applications for the program. So we're working with Patriot to see what we can do budgetarily to make it happen for as many students as possible.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear that, because it's a great opportunity for kids, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Patriot wants to hire these students.
Sure.
They're in competition for hiring these students. I'd asked one of the owners of Patriot how it was going with the hiring process, and he said, well, these students are coming out licensed, and other ambulance providers are competing with us for them. So they're in that sort of healthy economic battle right now to retain
That's
these
wonderful.
future employees.
That's safe.
It's amazing.
That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
Excellent.
Well, thank you.
I just wanted to, my own personal experience, I wrote 2 letters of recommendation for kids last year, and I had a young man stop by my classroom just to make sure to tell me, I passed all of my practicals, I'm going to be licensed, and I'm going to start working, ASAP. This is so great. Yeah.
it's
really sweet.
amazing.
Yeah, the students love it.
It's really amazing how much the EMT license can get you. I know somebody who, a student, she graduated from high school, and in the summer between high school and college, took the EMT course and got licensed, and then she was able to get an internship while she was in college, working in the emergency room at the hospital. Just getting that degree or that licensure opens up all kinds of.
Oh, absolutely. And we all remember Howie Priest,
Yeah.
who recently graduated. So shout out to
Yeah.
Howie Priest. And Howie was involved in the response at one of the city's festivals. And now he's working towards his paramedic licensure.
Wow,
So
that's
he's
huge.
continuing on, and his ultimate goal from the last time we spoke is to become a Marlboro firefighter.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I met him at a fair, actually.
Yeah.
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 It's all good stuff.
Great.
No.
Would you like an update on Technium and what went down?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the student did have a conflict tonight, and she did communicate that with our partners at Technium and also our partners at Mass Hire. She didn't communicate that with my office or Superintendent Murphy's office.
Oops.
But on a really positive note, LaGrace Parker, who's the student who's going to join us tonight, she passed her Cisco certification and got that notice today. So she's also excited, and I'm not going to steal her thunder, but she has some news about her continuation with Technium when she does present. So she does want to jump on a future agenda, if that's okay, and I'll work on rescheduling that with her and making sure that there's better communication if something does come up like it did tonight.
Great, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dr.
Thank you.
Riley.
Okay. We'll move down to the superintendent's reports.
Thank you, Mayor Christian. I wanted to start with a little update about Staff Appreciation. Last week was Staff Appreciation Week. Thank you to Mayor Dumas and the school committee for helping us celebrate our staff throughout the week. We tried to visit every classroom in the district and thanked as many staff members as we could find. once again, thank you to all the staff in the Marlborough Public Schools. I didn't expect Dr. Riley to still be here, but I also wanted to update everyone on the 2024 Marlborough High School graduation activities. So on Friday, May 24th, is the last day of academic classes and assessments for seniors. They will return to school on May 28th for a collection of obligations and distribution of caps and gowns from 9 to 11 a.m. in the Marlborough High School Field House. The following day, on May 29th, is the senior breakfast and graduation rehearsal beginning at 8:30 a.m. in the Marlborough High School cafeteria. On Thursday, May 30th, graduation rehearsal and the graduation walk at 8:30 a.m. at Noble Field. So, did you do well?
Yeah. Did you guys hear the presentation about the track?
Yes.
You come in late, you got jokes. I respect that. Thank you. Yeah.
So everyone's writing down May 30th for the graduation walk, an activity not to be missed, and lots of Kleenex as well. Followed by, on Friday, May 31st, is the senior prom and all-nighter. And finally, on Sunday, June 2nd, the graduation ceremony will be at Noble Field at 11 a.m. So, thank you. Any questions for Dr. Riley since he's still here? Or no?
The only thing I was just going to ask is, are you or whomever is doing some of the organization around, say, like the senior breakfast or the all-nighter, or are you still looking for help? You know, because I know sometimes there's help that's needed for serving breakfasts and things like that.
Yeah, this year we're looking pretty good. We'll take all the help we can get. So if you are volunteering, Mrs. Hennessy, we are taking your help.
Okay, all right.
But everything's looking pretty good for both of those. And a lot of parent volunteers have stepped up already and have said to our class advisors, we are all set for senior breakfast. We're taking care of it. And as well as the all-nighter. We have new parents that have stepped up to ensure that tradition continues. And they've done a wonderful job organizing and rallying a lot of parents to help out to make that a special night. They do still need help with chaperones for the all-nighter.
Okay.
So.
That's why I thought I'd give you some time to shout that out, because,
Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
you know, you're picking up what I'm
That was a
putting down.
plug on. All right, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it seems like 11 o'clock is the new standing time for graduation as opposed to the old 2 o'clock.
Yes, yeah, we've had it in the morning since we've been having it outside.
Yeah.
And I think in part also a little bit cooler in the day, usually around 11 a.m. than it might become 2 a.m. 2 p.m. in the summers.
Dr. Riley, that also allows us to make an adjustment if it's raining in the morning and it looks better in
100%.
the afternoon? Yeah.
100%, just in case we don't have good weather, yeah.
We haven't had to be flexible yet.
No, but we did have to speed up
Yeah.
last year.
Last year was freezing.
Well, that's
Last year we were
crazy.
bundled.
Yeah.
It was terrible. You were standing there with nothing on, practically.
And you went out and gave her an umbrella, I remember. Right. Yes. Right.
But we always stamp that ceremony with the 90-minute guarantee, so we can make it.
Excellent.
All right,
Okay.
that's it.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We have completed our biannual review of the Marlborough Public Schools Bullying Prevention and Intervention Plan. I noted at the April 30th school committee meeting that there have not been any legal updates in the last 2 years that would impact our plan. I attached the final edited version of the Marlborough Public Schools plan to my report. This plan is being shared with the committee now, but it will be posted in the for the 2024-2025 school year, and it will be posted on our new website. If there are no further feedback, we will format, and we will be changing our plan is to change the format of the overall format of the document, upload the plan into the Google Drive for view only, and it will be fully translatable on the new website. And that will be the way that we will be posting any family documents, so that everything will be accessible to all families in the Marlborough Public Schools. Looking for any feedback or questions at this time.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that I have received feedback from a parent regarding whether our outreach to the community was enough. And having now reviewed the policy again, the policy does state that posting it during the meeting, or for the school committee meeting, I'm going to read it because I want to make sure that we are doing it exactly the way it says. So I apologize, one second.
We have it here, too.
I have it. In consultation with all district stakeholders, which includes teachers, school staff, professional support personnel, school monitors, and so on, shall be reviewed and updated at least biannually by the superintendent or designee and presented to the school committee for their review and feedback, because we approve the policy, not the execution of the plan. But the biannual review and update will allow for public comment during the public participation section of the meeting agenda when the bullying prevention and intervention plan is presented to the school committee. So I believe we have followed the policy as it is written. I think one of the other concerns is to ensure that the plan is working. So in that is the data, whether it's Metro West or DESE or so on, is reported out. And so to bring it back full circle, I hope that we can, by the end of the year, we can have a statement on where we stand with the plan, the data we received, how it's been executed throughout the buildings, and so on. So that is, I think, what the request is to see. Is this plan working?
I think that's great feedback. So at the end of the school year, we certified that data with DESE, and it's through the SSDR, it's the Safe and Supportive Schools. So that is certified after the end of the school year, so that is something that we'd be able to report out in June. Not only bullying, but we could do some of the other data too, like discipline and some other factors too. So I can compile that information and present it to the
I think that would be great. I think just for us to know that,
Of course.
and the community to know that we put this together and it's being pushed down. And
the Metro West survey is not something that would be able to be reported out annually because
Correct.
it's only in every 2 year. I believe that the information from the survey is still being compiled. I don't know if we have all of that information yet. So whatever we do have, I can compile that for you.
great, thank you.
And
I think, no, Dan first.
My question was basically logistical, and I think it's on, actually. And I think we had the same conversations, but when we must have, there are other things we must have to review by state mandate on a periodic basis, I would assume, other than plans like the bullying plan, right?
I can't hear you,
can't hear
Dan.
you. Dan,
You gotta
can
talk in the mic.
Talk into your microphone. Pull it down. We can't hear you.
Should I sing an aria or just, I said, there must be, oh no, God, I couldn't hear myself either. There must be other things that we must have to review on a periodic basis by state law, or...
I don't think there's any state law. I don't think it is required. It's asking us to use our data that we're having, that we're surveying and reacting to that. I think that's just great practice. It's something that we do. It's one of our strengths. I mean, we have data for everything, and we're constantly reviewing. I think there's suggestions to review things like we've talked about the attendance data and how it's driving and the improvement from year over year and the steps that we've taken. So yes, we are constantly doing reviews. One of the data points is the vocal surveys. And that is the surveys that students take in targeted grades when they're doing the MCAS. And you have your own individual responses, and then you have how you compare to the state. And that's for a lot of this data. So we want to see how we're doing and how we're comparing to the state. So, yeah.
Now, the public comment, which was the parents' concern we've all heard from, the question is that when that public comment is required or requested, where do we make that the actual thing they're coming available for them to look at, to know if they want to make a comment on it?
So the public comment was when we oversaw the plan development, when it was initially, and then it is also in our policy that public comment is to take place in the school committee meeting during public comment, and that is why I tried to say that we were going to start this process and that we were going to be talking about it for the next 2 meetings in order to have opportunity as much as possible for public comment.
But
And I think members have received some comments.
Yeah, but this particular person was concerned that they could not, there was no, in the things that were posted about public comment, all it said was public comment was welcome, and there was nothing posted that they were going to be able to, not this particular person, because they would find it, I'm sure, but any other parent might not know where to look to find where this thing was they were looking to comment on, because there's nothing included other than the posting, other than.
Well, the
It was
whole
in the
packet is posted on the
Website.
the Marlboro Public Schools website with all supporting documents, every single, and it's also there for every meeting that we've had all year long. So maybe, I don't know if we should review that every once in a while publicly during a meeting, but, and these meetings are televised.
But again, not every parent looks at that information.
And it's on our website
Right,
too.
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that sometimes parents need to have a little more of an incentive than just saying it's available to have it looked at.
The other thing is that things like the bullying plan, I looked at it earlier today. It's one of those documents that there was some glitches at the beginning of the year, so we made sure that it was sent out in 3 languages to every family again in the fall. And of course, that's the old plan. This isn't the updated one. And our intention is to post it, but also we're going to have to send it to the translator because part of the plan is to have some copies available in the front offices. But that process will take a little while. I don't know if it'll be quicker if I provide them with the red line version, but translation, a document that is 17 pages long, usually does take some time.
And when you're talking about in the interim, looking at data and analyzing it, what type of data other than things like the vocal, I'm trying to figure out what other data do you look
So
at?
we also track every single bullying report that comes in. We just, even if there's no finding, we still have that it's reported. So we can compare how many bullying reports there are as compared to how many bullying findings there are. We can also look at consequences for bullying, what educational pieces are put into place, the success rates, and so we can look at all that
I
data.
think that's what I was asking. What comes out of that analysis, if anything, that would maybe not necessitate, but cause a change somewhere mid 2-year cycle? Anything would come out of those?
It would mainly, since that bullying plan is a roadmap for what we're doing in the class, in the schools, it covers PD, so maybe we would change some of our PD. That we don't have to change the plan because the plan says we're providing the PD.
Right.
We may look at our curriculum and we may add another unit to it. The plan says we are doing curriculum that covers bullying, so that we wouldn't change it. It would just be, we would be following the plan because that is how we're going to make adjustments that happen.
And I also just want to state, as far as data goes, while we always want to try to reduce the amount of number of instances of bullying, we have to remember that in our district, the percentage of churn of students within our district is always changing. So we will always have new students who have not been through our curriculum and will always have to be starting anew. So, whatever district they're coming from, so we will always have students that will need guidance and instruction and may be in a situation where they are bullying, but it's not because they weren't exposed to it with us. So it will always be something that we need to work on, and won't get to the point where we're eliminating it totally.
Because my experience has always been as a teacher that everything is like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. We do all these things, put them all together, and then they're put somewhere in some cave, and then 2 years later we bring them out again. And I just was curious about the process as we go through. If we're doing all this analyzing and all this data, we should be able to be a little flexible once we're done. That was my concern. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just one comment on that. I mean, especially around the whole bullying plan, we've had a lot of discussions around it. So I would think that if it is something that someone's interested in, they've had a lot of opportunity to come either here, contact us, contact the superintendent around this subject specifically. We've talked about it multiple times. And it's pretty easy to find on our website. It is actually one of our plans that is pretty prominent.
It's not translated on the website, though.
But they can request to get a translation form at this point, and it has been something that's been discussed that's going to be changing with the new update. So, I mean, I think the feedback's been taken and it's moving forward in that way. But to your point, Dan, like many things, I think, try and do our best to make sure that parents, families, kids all have things available, the students and staff. We cannot force feed it. We can make it as easily as accessible as possible. And I think any time that anyone's been approached by any of these needs, whether it be through administration or to us, I think people have been trying to make sure that it's available. So I appreciate the comment and the feedback, but I would also say I think we've done a pretty good job on trying to make sure that it's available for people. So.
That's my point, just to make sure there was.
Yep, thank you.
And to, excuse me, and to wrap back around to your point also, in the policy is the annual written notice of any changes will go to the school committee, will go to parents and so on. And it is, as it says, it's age appropriate. So it does go out through the student handbook as the relevant information. And it's a live document. That's the other thing. And that's up to the discretion of the superintendent's office as far as do tweaks need to be made because of the data that we've received. So, and to Mrs. Hennessy's point, we have asked for the last 3 meetings on feedback for this, and nobody's reached out. Even if we had emailed it to everybody, the teachers are all fully aware that we've been asking for the information. If they felt there was a problem with the plan, I'm sure they would have reached out to the superintendent as well. And if parents have had some concern, if they watch it, they don't watch it. We can't force it. We just need to ensure that the information is available.
In ways that they can access.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, my recommendation, and I had mentioned this to the superintendent, is that once the newly updated plan has been translated, that perhaps in one of your superintendent's newsletters or letters that goes out to parents, pushing it out to parents, that there could be a link to where they could find the updated plan. Because we know not everybody watches school committee meetings, and if they don't speak English, even if they watched it, they're not understanding what we're saying. So once it has been translated and available where people can access it, pushing it out to make it more available to people, I think is opening up people's access to it.
Yes, and I tried to do a monthly community update on my superintendent's page, so I will reach out to some educators that are much more capable than I am and see if we can get a Google Doc version of the current draft loaded and linked to my next update so that it would be translatable. I'm going to need some help with that, but I think we're all going to need some help with the new website since everything's going to be in that format.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Finally, I just wanted to give an FY25 budget update. On May 7th, 2024, the school committee held a budget workshop. The school committee had approved a budget of $76,616,990, which was 6.41%. Mayor Dumas has forwarded a budget of $75,775,874. We are waiting for the final city council approved budget, but as of today, we need to identify $841,116 in reductions to meet our new budget. Once the city budget is approved, we will forward possible reductions to the committee for discussion at a future school committee meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for ending with such depressing update.
Alrighty. Moving on to Assistant Superintendent of Student Services and Equity, Ms. Cody.
Thank you very much. Tonight, I have a report on Special Ed Olympics, as Mrs. Hennessy had talked about. There are several Special Olympic events being planned across schools in the district this spring. Due to field trip conflicts, it was not possible to coordinate a district-wide event on one date. The district will look to set a date early for a district-wide event to be held in the spring of 2025 and have it on the master calendar to prevent conflicts with other events. Jarwick and Goodnow Elementary Schools are collaborating to do a joint Special Olympics event on June 6th from 9:30 to 11 at the Marlboro High School track, which maybe down the line will be renovated. There will be approximately 27. This isn't on you. Mayor Vigil, they were nailing him to try to
It's all
get a new
good.
one.
I'm here for it.
So there'll be about 27 students with disabilities, along with staff and administrators who will be participating in that event. Kane and Richer Elementary Schools will also be collaborating on a joint event to be held on June 10th with a time and location to yet be confirmed. They're expecting approximately 20 students with disabilities to participate, along with staff and administrators. Whitcomb and Marlboro High School are also hosting a joint Special Olympics track and field event that will include Neshoba High School. This event will be held at MHS on the afternoon of either June 6th, 7th, or 10th, and they're working with Neshoba to finalize a date and expect over 50 students with disabilities and peers participating in this event. When details are confirmed for the Kane Richer and the Whitcomb High School events, they'll be shared with the school committee, so in case you want to come and attend and cheer them on. The Special Olympics organization will be providing medals for participants at all the events.
Excellent. Thank you. No? Okay.
Risha, are you going to come back post-graduation to work on any of these or work with any of the kids?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sorry, I do have to kind of push that if you have not gone to one of the Special Olympic events, they really are wonderful to be at. And I have to say, one of the things that I will always, always love is especially being at the high school and standing down in the lobby when the kids are all coming out, because Mr. Verdone got everyone, like the band there playing like the whatever the football fight song kind of thing is, as they're all coming out. And it is one of those like goosebump moment kind of things. So I would just encourage anyone to try and get there. It's so well worth it, so.
Thank you. Moving on to the acceptance of minutes. So minutes of the April 30th, 2024 school committee meeting.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve is on the table and seconded. Is there any questions, comments, concerns regarding the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Public comment. Is there any public comment? Public comment. Is there any public comment? Third time, public comment. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, we will move on. Action items and reports. Surplus shop equipment.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the committee's packet, there's a memo from Mr. White, the custodial supervisor. We're looking to surplus some shop equipment that's no longer being used, so we're asking the school committee to approve that action.
So it'll be on the municipal sales website, correct? Is that the
Municipal,
process?
yes.
You got it. Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the sale of the excess equipment.
Motion's on the table and seconded. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I have a
Yes.
question. So you put it on a site to sell it. Where does the money from that go? To the city side, or to us?
I'll have to bring it to the treasurer and we'll decide where to put it there. I wouldn't expect much. Some of these bids get $2.
Oh, bummer. I was thinking maybe the new track.
Track?
There's not enough vodka in the world today. There is a motion on the table and seconded to sell off this equipment for a new track. Is there any other further comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Policies for approval. Start with policy AA, mission, belief, and vision.
Thank you. So I'd like to make a motion to approve policy AA, which is MPS, mission, belief, vision. And these would not be posted until we have the new website. So this is just trying to do all of the preparation work for the new website, okay? So.
Okay.
We can. I didn't know if anyone had questions,
So we would entertain a motion, and then we'll see if that will carry.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion for approval of policy AA, MPS, mission, belief, vision, policy AB, which is non-discrimination and harassment, policy AC, which is bullying prevention, and policy AD, which is constitutionally protected religious expression / prayer.
There is a motion on the table. Is there a second? Second is also. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
So just to be clear, what we are going to vote on is just the recalibration of the numbers of the policy. Nothing about the policy is changing at this moment.
Currently, the ones that you have in front of you have
No changes.
no changes, other than, I will say, on the bullying prevention, you will see at the end that there's going to be cross-references that I will have to update once we actually approve the other policies. So yes, there will be some minor changes. That will be letters added in there. Right now, these four in front of you have no other changes, amendments.
The content is staying. the same.
Content is the
Correct.
same. You will see things coming forward, though, where there may be some that might have minor content changes, okay? But these do not.
Alrighty, so there is a motion and a second on the floor to approve policy AA, policy AB, policy AC, and policy AD. Is there any further questions or comments or concerns? Seeing none. All in favor? The motion carries. All four policies have been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to acceptance and donations of gifts. There is, looks like 4. So first one is the Middlesex District Attorney's Office for the Marlborough High School Senior Class All-Nighter, and that is for $500.
Motion to approve with gratitude.
And that's been seconded. All questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Second was Cocoa Trees Kids, MPS Families for $760.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve and seconded is on the table. Questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. Third one is Project Bread for MPS. That is for $2,500.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Motion to approve is second. Questions, comments, concerns?
Yes.
Seeing no questions, comments, concerns. You got it.
Mr. LaFleur, I assume with this grant, we haven't talked about the summer program yet as far as feeding our kiddos and feeding our city kiddos. Has there been a plan discussed as far as what we're doing?
There's a plan being put together.
Okay.
This grant was applied for at a much larger amount. We would take what we can get.
Yep.
That was to help facilitate the summer feeding at those events.
So I assume we'll hear about the plan as soon as it's finalized.
Sure. we will.
Okay, great, thank you.
Motion's on the table and second. Any further questions, comments, concerns for the Project Bread donation? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. And the last one is the Massachusetts Office of the Treasurer for MHS for $3,200.
Motion to approve.
It's been seconded. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. All righty. Thank you, everyone. Reports of school committee subcommittees. Yes, Ms. Hennessy.
So thank you very much for your review tonight. And just wanted to let you know that we have a number of subcommittee meetings coming up so that we can continue to move forward. So one is this Thursday on the 16th as posted. We have also looked at some time on the 22nd as well as the 30th so that we can try and move forward through things. So thank you very much.
Anyone else? Yes.
Excuse me. So I want to thank, and I am happy to report that IBB works.
Can you explain what IBB is? So that people at
Interest-based
home-
bargaining
Thank you.
versus non-traditional bargaining. We had 22 of us, plus a facilitator and counsel, who helped us through a process of coming to an agreement on what I think is a very favorable contract for the district. It will attract teachers, it will retain teachers. It took a few months to get there. Excuse me. And I want to say that a big thank you to the MEA. They ratified it today. Sorry, of course I'm speaking and I choke. Unanimously, and you have been given a copy of the MOU, and I ask that you review it and you will have it in your packet also in 2 weeks for ratification by us as well. But thank you, Elton. Is there anything you wanted to add, or he's going to start choking now?
I would agree with Heidi. The process, while long, was very, it was effective, it was collaborative, it was positive. I think that everyone felt heard, and I think on both sides, everyone felt very good about the process. We had a general meeting last week on Thursday to discuss the changes with membership, and they did ratify today in the vote after school. It was a 98.5% approval of the MOU. So I think from the MEA's perspective, we're happy, and we're looking forward to moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Nope. Moving on to members forum.
I have reviewed and signed the warrant,
Perfect.
and it'll be given to you.
Thank you. Yes.
Is this on? Okay. couple track-related things. Just keep that in mind. Parker Rogers, senior on the boys track team, got male athlete of the meet at our district meet over the weekend. Our unified track team plans to go to our unified leagues next week, and we just had our regular track team leagues today. And the high school art show is this Thursday.
Okay.
I don't know what time though.
But what we really want to know is the decision.
Oh, some of us
Bentley.
know.
Bentley, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. So yes, the Evening of the Arts is this Thursday at Marlborough High School. It will be featuring the jazz ensemble, Voices Required, and the student artwork. So the art show is starting at 6 and the music starts at 7. So I hope to see people there. And then also the following Thursday on the, can't read my own writing. Is that the 23rd? I think it's the 23rd, is the All-City Jazz Night. Both events are free of charge, as far as I know. And just something we touched upon earlier tonight, if anyone is looking to see what the all-nighter still needs, you can contact them through Gmail or their website. They also have a Facebook page too, but it's mhsallnight@gmail.com or mhsallnight.org. They, of course, always need help and donations.
That's ALLNIGHT, correct?
Correct, yes. Thank you. And that's it.
So it's the time of year when we need to evaluate our superintendent, and it is one of my tasks as vice chair. So I will be getting out, most likely with Mrs. Matthews' assistance, the form to everyone to start working on with, I'll let you know when I need it by, but we'll shoot for the last meeting to actually do the review and the public reading. Okay?
Anything else? That's our favorite.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn is on the table and seconded. Questions, comments, concerns? Nothing? All in favor?
I held my question.
Yeah, right, yeah. All in favor? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 8:26.